Okay, I'm at 33 Grandview Avenue in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. The access point is a clean out just in front of the front left corner of the house if you're facing the house. There's a clean out sticking up, PVC. This is going to allow me to go both directions, so what we'll do first is we'll go upstream, back into the house. There's only a few feet of that. There's a stack, maybe 5-6 feet. Goes into the floor about 5 or 6 feet into the house from this direction. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at this stuff. We have clay. Hopefully I can get my camera to jump into there. There we go. We have clay underneath the house, which is good. This is a really weird thing here. It looks like this is kind of a Y-end. Looks functional. I'm looking there to the left to see if this is broken, because it does look broken, but it also looks like there's a Y-end here. Can't tell. It looks like it's got a pretty good curvature of pipe here, and so it kind of looks like this is a break-in. Like somebody did kind of a rough break-in tap. It is flowing, coming downhill from the inside, and you can see that. This is where the line comes out of the house. And so we'll go ahead and push all the way back in. And when I come out, I'm going to try to see if that line coming in from the left, I'm hoping I can find a way to maybe test it. You see, I think all this back here is unused. I'm going to have to try to test out some of the plumbing to see, because I think this is unused, and then where this stack comes in, like right around in here somewhere, is where the, let's see if we can get this cleaned off, or I'm going to have to run some water. I am going to pause the video here. I'm going to go inside and we're going to run some water. I want to see if this is still a used line, because this is definitely blocked with material. I don't know if this is being used, like I've just mentioned. So we're gonna try to take a look at this a little better. Alright, so this is just past the stack where it comes in. So the only thing on this is one floor drain. So we'll pull back to where there's where the stack comes in. So this isn't a major concern. It's just build up from the years of gunk from that floor drain. You know, there's not a whole lot that goes into it except for that condensate line, which is probably what all this is, you know, a bunch of stuff from the that floor drain, probably mineral deposits from all that condensate line just dripping in, because it'd be the only thing that would actually come into that spot. So, I mean, it's not affecting the sanitary plumbing. You can see the sanitary plumbing. This is the kitchen sink running, but all the sanitary plumbing comes in here, and everything downstream of here. So I'm going to pull back, and so the sanitary side, I think this is the floor drain in the floor of the basement, and also the drain from that stationary tub in the basement comes in right here to the right. And those two things, the stationary tub apparently leaks, so we're not gonna turn that thing on. But then here we go, coming out of here, this is right around in here. It looks like we have another line, and I don't know if that is a foundation line coming in from the left. Could be a you can tell there's a little bit of a break off the edge. It kind of, I mean, to me it kind of looks like a break-in tap, like they made a Y, but it definitely, I mean, it's flowing, but it's hard for me to identify whether this was done on purpose or not. It looks like there's another pipe that comes in from the left, but I can't tell if that is the downspout, because this is most likely a combined system based off the age and everything. This would be combined up here, and meaning that the storm comes into the sanitary, or if that is possibly the only other option would be a foundation drain coming in from the left. But I'm gonna mark it and recommend, if nothing else, you have a second opinion on what they on what a plumber would recommend here, because it's probably right under the edge of the foundation based off of the placement, and so it probably is. I think it is a connection. It's just whether or not it's worth digging up, or if this was all done on purpose to bring that in, and they didn't have they didn't use a fitting, they just did a break-in, which is pretty common with clay. But you can see there's still at least a chunk missing off of that piece of clay that's coming into it. So anyway, I'm gonna mark this with some green paint and a flag, or at least roughly, if it's underneath the corner of the foundation, that will be noted on the report, or I mean noted on the flag, excuse me. Okay, so I've marked this. It is right under the front left corner of the house if you're facing it. A lot of soap. The dishwasher was running. Good news is it'll clean my camera off, I guess. But I'm gonna try to. We're gonna finish up the inspection, then I'm gonna see if I can run some water down this downspout a little bit, and we'll see if it comes in right there. Either way, I can see some settling in this front left corner also that is probably caused by this, because of this being open. You can see the earth around it, and so this is probably, with some of the groundwater seeping in and coming in, is probably drawing in some of the surrounding earth, sending it down the pipe, and therefore causing some settling and some undermining the earth around this front corner of the house. So it needs to be repaired. I would have it again have this looked at by a licensed plumber to make sure that for an estimate basically of repair and their opinion on severity. But it's pretty obvious that it is causing some undermining here in the front corner. Now we have turned and we are going downstream. We're going out towards the street. So I don't know how much of this is PVC, but so far this may be PVC all the way to the street, which would be really good news, because it should be in really good shape. Gone back into clay, probably at the base of the turn here, and then we do have some, looks like some root intrusion here. It looks like some spider webs and stuff. That's not roots. This is dropping in a hurry, and then now we are going back into PVC. For another repair, probably out by the street, and then I'm going to see if I can get this to jump. There we go. Now we're back into clay, and I'm definitely not getting over this offset here. Yeah. Yeah, this is a big offset, but this is probably off the property. I'm sitting at an 18-degree angle, so my locate's not going to be perfect. I'll try to pull back and see if I can get flat at all. See what kind of settle I can get. There's a pretty big offset here. I'm going to pause the video. We're going to locate this and make sure it's off the property. Okay, so this is right at the well, not right at the street, but it's about 3 or 4 feet into the street. It's hard for me to locate. There's a vehicle parked above where I need to locate it. I know where it is. I just can't get a good depth locate on it. It's underneath the center of the car parked there. So, and this offset isn't horrible. I've seen a lot worse, and it doesn't look like there's any solid buildup. But you can see the break with the water flowing and it's clearing up. You can see how it broke off and when it dropped. And it actually may be carrying a few of those pieces that were further up, because those don't necessarily had to have come off of this, but they probably did. I see a little bit of rocks and stuff, so it's probably the outside edge of the connection that broke and folded in. But because of that, I'm not going to be able to get my camera past that point. I may try to put a standoff on it in a minute, but right now we're going to go ahead and pull back and take another look at a few of these spots. I mean, mainly the downstream side looks really good. This is fairly normal because they made a repair, and those repairs are made with Ferncos, or like rubber boots, and so you always have a little bit of shifting here, and there's no solids. Like that water running through there is not escaping. That rubber boot around it is, making the water flow down, so that's not an open connection. And it's pretty common, especially the drastic fall that we have here. Like if you look at my camera in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see the angle that the line is sitting at, and my camera was able to make it past this point with a little, with a little help. And with a 25-degree angle where the water's running, this is not causing any major issue or anything. It's not obstructing flow. And then we go back into this clay, and right here at this drop, I think there was some root intrusion here at about 34, 35 feet. So it's fairly minor root intrusion. And so it's PVC for about the first 32 feet, and then root intrusion at 35. So yeah, the first 30 feet downstream look really good. 32, 33 feet look really good because it's all been replaced. And then when you get to about the sidewalk, presumably, that's when they quit. So I'm assuming that this was the homeowner was responsible up to about the end of this PVC, and that SD1 would be responsible anything past there. So I would contact them about that spot. The offset, they probably won't do anything immediately. You'd have to get them to assess it and see, kind of what they offer to do. I'm not 100% on what they take responsibility for anymore. I've heard they've gotten better about doing like they call it a tap replacement program, which is just basically that they would repair anything in those areas off the, past the sidewalk, essentially, that they would repair anything that needed to be repaired, and that would be up to them as to whether or not that offset was severe enough. to warrant a repair. They probably won't, just because again, there was enough similar to the ones I spoke about previously, or previous to that, that when you have enough drop and have enough pitch on the line, and in some of those cases it was 22, 23 degrees of pitch, there's enough speed where it most likely, it's not going to cause any issue, because there's so much speed of that water coming down that it's just washing everything out of there easily. Now here we're back at this point. I'm going to go turn the water off in the kitchen, and then I'm going to go try to run some water down this downspout, and we're going to see if it comes out here to our left. It may be a foundation drain, but I think it is the downspout. So again, I'm going to pause the video one more time. Okay, I'm trying to run some water down the downspout here to see if it comes in. And there we go. So this is the downspout, just to the left of the front left corner. You can see the water coming in right there to the left. So this is a connection, but it is undermining due to the way it was. Looks like either the connection broke or this was a break-in tap, and it's starting to undermine the dirt around that area. It's at 13 feet upstream of this clean out as far as the video is concerned, but it is only about 5 feet up from the clean out physically. Walked off right there underneath that front right corner, and that's where that downspout ties in. So we're going to go ahead and pull back and finish up, but there are a few issues here. One being that you have that separation there at 13 feet upstream, and then I was unable to get past right around, was it like 40? I think it was right around 40 feet. I was unable to get past due to the offset. And so I think I am going to go ahead and try to put a standoff on this. 47 feet, I think, is actually where it was. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to put a standoff on this and see if we can get past that offset, but we are off the property, and so that would be SD1's issue if we can't get past that point. We've inspected what the property owner would be responsible for, I believe. So again, one more, I'm going to pause again and get all set up. Alright, I've added the standoff to the camera. We're going to go ahead and go back through here, see if we can We're going to see if this standoff will hold the camera up high enough to get past that offset down there at 47 feet. Okay, here we are at that 47-foot mark. Might be able to get it to go. Got it. Okay, so now we can inspect, hopefully all the way to the main. Shouldn't be too far off of here, it's still diving. And again, this is all off the property, and we are at the, you see that the number there. You can see that the sewer main has been lined, which is good. Probably was damaged or getting some major root intrusion. So I'm pushing down the main a little bit to hopefully rinse this camera off a hair so we can see a little bit better on the way back. But the line past that 47-foot mark looked pretty good structurally. no major issues, but at that 47-foot mark, although we were eventually able to proceed, you may want to have that assessed by the sewer department just to be sure. But I am recommending that the have a evaluation by a licensed plumber to get some estimates on the repair of the sewer line at the front corner. There was that offset. Alright, so we've pulled all the way back out of the clean out, and just to kind of sum up what we've seen throughout this whole thing. On the video, it's 13 feet upstream. There is a Y-in for the downspout here on the front left corner, and it is broken, and the connection is broken and the open to the ground, and it's allowing some undermining of the front right corner of the house. That should be evaluated and repaired. Downstream, first like 32-33 feet is some PVC. It all looks great, and then at about 35 feet there is some medium root intrusion, not uncommon, not causing any obstruction to flow now, but obviously with continued growth it could cause a backup. And down at about 47 feet there is an offset, which took an addition of a standoff on the camera to get past. That is off the property, and so that would be recommended to have SD1 evaluate it and see if they feel the condition is bad enough to warrant a repair, but it is in the street about 4 feet into the road. But the line is flowing at time of inspection, but there were multiple defects in the line. So that'll end the inspection at 33 Grandview Avenue in Fort Thomas, Kentucky.